That's good. Always hits the mark. What's this I'm drinking? This is organic Astophilus yogurt by Biofarm. Actually made in Manawa too. Yeah. Couple of top tips for when you buy this in the supermarket. It's actually amazing, firstly. Secondly, always a little bit left in the bottle. So how do you get that out? What do you do? Find the biggest knife you can, hack it apart, chop it in half, get a spoon it all out. The best bits. Of course, tip number 3. There's always a little bit in the bottle. You just gotta tongue that out. Only way you can do it. So, how do you start a gear review? Well, you find a lovely thought-provoking chair. You get your Biofarm yogurt, have a swig, ready to go. So, we are here. The Black Diamond Carbon Z-Poles. Amazing. Love them to bits. Would buy again. Okay, so let's run through some pros and some cons. If you guys want all the details for like weight and all that, I mean, you can just look online. You're going to look online anyway. What you're here for is for a laugh and some yarns. Looking down like a sword. Okay, so I've only got one pole left. If anyone watched my last video, my mission to Mitre Flats hut. Yeah, it's a bit of a Ron Weasley looking wand right here. Anyway, I slipped, fell, pole caught me, pole broke. Saved my head though. Which is the big downfall of carbon, right? Once it snaps and it's done. You can't really do anything more about that. But in saying that, I gave these things a rough life. I bought these in February, so they haven't been around for very long. February? Maybe November last year. They're reasonably young. They have not survived 12 months, okay? But they do have a reasonable amount of flex in them, like surprising. Like I've given these a big bend accidentally, and we're like, oh, she's gonna go, but she didn't. She's holds strong. So I've been really impressed by that. Okay, so pro, carbon, it's light. Con, they do snap. Pro, they take a lot to snap. Okay. Some of the features, okay, it is a Z pole, which just means essentially you push this button here, which is like a lockout, you pull it down and it breaks into 3 pieces. Now, at the moment this is in its 3 pieces, and that tucks away, designed for trail running, alright, not really designed for your day in day out hiking, through hiking and things like that, although depending on where I was through hiking, I think I would take these. They are good. And the reason I couldn't show you that on the pole, which is alive, is another con. Black Diamond have just done something wrong here. Basically, if you get water in this like top part of the handle of the pole, it seizes up, and it takes a lot to unseize it. So you either need to put some Vaseline or some lanolin. I haven't trialed anything in there to get that working better, or you just have to like manhandle it for a long time. Quite a bit of wear here from where I've been out in the bush and it seized up and I just couldn't get them back out or back folded up. So that's a big loss for this pole. Otherwise, it's like a 90% like gold star on the Golden Star chart in school. Yeah, that's a shame. Common problem with these as well. Features it comes with, alright, comes with a carbide tip, which I reckon is the only tip you would want to have on there, and a rubber tip. I don't know what I'd really use rubber tips for. I tried them on like real steep tar seal stuff when I was in Akaroa, running around there. Climbing around the hills, there's a lot of road and it's real steep. And so they're kind of helpful, but to be honest, the carbide tip was just as good, so I'm not sure what kind of purpose I'd use the rubber for. And it wore out really quickly. Other feature, comes with these like small cones and snow cones. The snow cones, or buckets, what do you want to call them, are a pain. In terms of like, you'd have to be walking like 100% snow for them to be useful. And secondly, they are a menace to get on and off. I think it took me well over an hour when I was in Aoraki to change from this bucket to this to the snow bucket. And that's ridiculous. Okay, we got there. It's all done. Yeah,
how happy are you?
Oh,
1 to 5.
Actually so happy, eh? It's all there. I'm 5 out of 5 happy. There was a time there where it was actually just a time killer. It was not going to happen, but we're there now. So we can probably give a good review on the Black Diamond Z poles now, because fuck, that was a mission. That definitely deserves a few F-bombs to make it live onto a YouTube. All it is a pull and twist to get it onto like the plastic thread, but the plastic thread on the buckets themselves is pretty poor quality, or it just pierces easily and threads easily, so less than ideal. So yeah, these poles are basically running only, good for single trail, good for all trails. I think poles in general aren't so good for bushwhacking because they're just going to get caught and stuff. It is a pain in the ass. And that's basically it. Another yarn about getting the snow buckets on. I was pulling them so hard to get onto the thread. It actually pulled the whole tip here, which kind of glues onto the pole, off the pole. And so I had to go and glue them back on. So that was a pain. Almost lost it quite a few times because you don't know it's broken basically until it falls off in the bush. Anyway, other feature, a cool little feature I found by accident, this little lanyard for your hand to go into is adjustable. Who knew? There's this little pulley tag here which you can make to pull to shorten or lessen the circumference of this little loop, or go the other way and make it wider. So quite handy for if you need it wider for big gloves. Obviously, like when I've got gloves on, they only just fit through this hole. Without gloves, it's quite comfy. And that gives you a little bit more degree of adjustment with the handle too. So that's my hand. I've got medium-ish hands. Fits comfy out of the hole. So you've got a good few centimetres of adjustment there. And because it's a Z pole, it comes in a fixed length. It's not adjustable. 120 centimetres these poles are. I think my last video I reckon 125. Not that tall. Anyway, that's about it. That's all the features of it. It's simple, it's easy. Cons are, once they snap, they snap. Pros, it's light, it's easy to stow away in a pack. When this like Z pole function thing is working and locking well, super easy. But if they get water and that sort of dries out and seals off in there, it will be a nightmare, so keep an eye on that. They say to store them like locked out, which I've been doing, but as you can see, I can't even twist it across there, and the handle should be able to roll through quite smoothly. But I'll Ron Weasley pole here. I think that's about it for the poles. Would I buy again? Because obviously 2 poles are better than 1. Yeah, I'd buy again. I would buy a different pole for my hiking though. I would use these just for running, and that would probably cut down on this advanced wear and tear through the handle and the lockout system. So there's 2 types of people when it comes to poles. I reckon there's people who use poles and they're onto it. There's people who haven't used poles, and the people who haven't used poles are yet to invest in poles people, because they just make life easier. You will climb faster, you can go down technical stuff faster, it's just makes life easy. So Torpedo 7 have cheap poles of reasonable good quality. Buy an alloy one to start with, instead of spending 300 NZ smacks on one of these bad boys. And yeah, as I did, worth it, loved it. What you're paying for is essentially weight and materials. As usual, high quality and also lighter. Yeah, apart from that, another reason you should buy poles is I can't cite the literature, but there is literature which says walking with poles or running with poles is about 20% more efficient. So again, people who use poles, people yet to invest in poles. We'll have some thoughts from Benji. What do you reckon, Benji? Getting some side eye from Benji. What do you think? He just told me that 4 legs are still faster than 2 legs and 2 poles. So there you go. That's the go on that one. I don't think I have much more to add. Hopefully the camera's in focus this time. 3rd time lucky. And hopefully the audio is good. And Carbon Z poles by Black Diamond. Would buy. Great for running. If you're into your hiking, I'd go for something else. And I don't really have suggestions. Probably Black Diamond. I mean, it's easy, it's accessible, and I haven't really looked into too many other poles. But here we go. That's my review. Don't forget to try some yogurt. My favourite flavour is probably wild apple. A wild apple is only like 4.8 or something grams of sugar per 100 grams, but it's amazing. So low sugar, still tastes amazing. But if we want to help out our little gut flora, then of course we're going to go some acidophilus. Yeah. If you haven't tried yogurt with some chopped up banana and a big slob of peanut butter in there, then you should also go and try that. Maybe we can do eggs and snacks with James another day. Stay salty, grind lots, throw shuckers. Alright, this time. See how long you guys watched the awkward silence for. How committed you are. See if anything else good in the video. What do you think, Benji? Benji's gonna say hi and give us a few words. He said 4 legs are better than 2 legs and 2 poles. So there's the verdict. Good start. Well, even though I pushed the button and pulled down, it just doesn't want to go. I'll be back. Boop, boop.